Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Amadai TV presents Beyond the Realm. Okay, so as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live on this channel. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram at QueenAmadai.Shakur, on Instagram at Divine_Goddess_27, Twitter at DGoddess27, Brighton, Patreon, Melanated People, right, at Queen Amadai Shakur. So let's get into it. And thank you all for returning to the chats. Now, this is a scary story, supposedly. Maybe you will remember. Now, maybe you will remember is the story about a young girl and her mother who are taking a vacation. But as the girl falls ill, or as the girl's mother falls ill, the girl begins to question her sanity. Mrs. Gibbs and her 16-year-old daughter, Rosemary, arrived in Paris on a hot morning in July. They had been on a vacation and now were returning home. Mrs. Gibbs did not feel very well, so they decided to rest in Paris for a few days before going on. Now, the city was crowded with tourists. Still, they found a place to stay at a good hotel. They had a lovely room overlooking a park. It had yellow walls, blue carpet, and white furniture. And as soon as they unpacked, Mrs. Gibbs went to bed. Now, she looked so pale that Rosemary asked to have the hotel's doctor examine her. Rosemary did not speak French, but fortunately, the doctor did speak English. Now, he took one look at Mrs. Gibbs and said, "Your mother is too sick to travel. Tomorrow, I will move her to the hospital, but she needs a certain medicine. If you go to my home for it, it will save time." The doctor said he did not have a phone right now. Instead, he would give Rosemary a note for his wife. I'm going to tell you right now, this already starting to sound crazy to me. Say, what now? A strange doctor comes to your hotel room to see your mother, tells you that she's so sick she can't travel, and maybe she should be put in the hospital, but hold on. She needs a specific medicine. And see, I don't have my phone. So you can go to the house and give my wife this note and she'll give it to you. Okay. So he gave her the notes. Now, the hotel manager put Rosemary in a taxi and in French told the driver how to find the doctor's house. He says, "It will only take a little while," he told her, "and the taxi will bring you back." As the driver slowly drove up the street and down another, it seemed to take forever. And at one point, Rosemary was sure they had gone down the same street twice. It took almost as long for the doctor's wife to answer the door and then to get the medicine ready. As Rosemary sat on a bench in the empty waiting room, she kept thinking, "Why can't you hurry? Please hurry." Then she heard a phone ring. She heard it ringing from someplace in the house. She didn't know where. The doctor had said he didn't have a phone right now. So somebody done lied already. I told y'all it sounded sketchy. Now, he told her they didn't have a phone at the house, but she heard a phone ringing. What's going on, she thought. They drove back as slowly as they had come, crawling up one street and down another. Rosemary sat in the back seat, filled with dread, her mother's medicine clutched in her hand. Why was everything taking so long, she wondered. She was sure the taxi driver was going in the wrong direction. "Are you going to the right hotel?" she asked. He didn't answer. She asked again, but still there was no reply. What? Honey, at that point, I'd opened that door and jumped out and ran. Okay? But the lies he told says nothing. Woo, honey, this is already getting scary. Now, I don't know this story. I just found it on the internet, honey, and said I'm going to talk about it because it seemed kind of juicy just from the headline. So anyway, when he stopped for a traffic light, she threw open the door and ran from the cab. I know that's right, honey, because that's clearly what I would have done. Now, she stopped a woman on the street. The woman did not speak English, but she knew someone who did. Rosemary was right. The taxi had been driving the wrong direction. When she finally got back to the hotel, it was early in the evening. Now she went up to the desk clerk who had given her the room. I'm Rosemary Gibbs, she said. My mother and I are in room 505. May I please have the key? The clerk looked at her closely. You must be mistaken, he said. There is another guest in that room. Are you sure you're at the right hotel? He turned to help someone else. She waited until he was finished. You gave us that room yourself when we came in this morning, she said. How could you forget? He stared at her like she had lost her mind. She asked to see. You must be mistaken, he said again. I have never seen you before in my life. Are you sure you're at the right hotel? She asked to see the registration card. They had filled it out when they arrived. It's June. It's June and Rosemary Gibbs. That's our name, she said. The clerk looked in the file. We have no record or card for you. You must be in the wrong hotel. The hotel doctor will know me, she replied. He examined my mother when we arrived. He sent me for medicine that she needs. I want to see him. The doctor came downstairs. Here is the medicine for my mother, Rosemary said, holding it out to him. Your wife gave it to me. I've never seen you before, he says. You must be at the wrong hotel, sweetie. She asked for the hotel manager who had put her in the taxi. Surely he would remember her. You must be in the wrong hotel, he also said. Let me give you a room where you can rest. Then maybe you'll remember where you and your mother are staying. I want to see our room, Rosemary said, raising her voice because she was clearly annoyed at this point. Ooh, this is all sounding so crazy. It's room 505. It was nothing like the room. When they took her to the room, it was nothing like the room she had remembered. It had a double bed, not twin beds. The furniture was black, not white. The carpet was green, not blue. There was someone else's clothing in the closet. The room she knew had vanished. So had her mother. This is not the room, she said. Where is my mother? What have you done with her? You are in the wrong hotel, the manager said patiently, as if he was speaking to a young child. Rosemary asked to see the police. My mother, our things, the room. They've all disappeared, she told them. Are you sure you're in the right hotel? They all asked. She went to the embassy for help. Are you sure you're in the right hotel? They asked. Rosemary thought she was losing her mind. Why don't you rest here for a while? They all said. Then maybe you'll remember. Honey, what kind of story is this? Twilight Zone, clearly, right? Now, they said, what happened to Rosemary's mother? When the hotel doctor saw Mrs. Gibbs, he knew at once that she was about to die. She had a form of a plague, a dreaded disease that likely or killed quickly and caused very frightening epidemics. If the word got out that the woman had died of the plague in the heart of Paris, there would be a panic. People in the hotel and elsewhere would rush to escape. The doctor knew that the hotel's owners, he knew what they expected. He was to keep the case a secret or else they would lose lots of money. This sounds like the pandemic, people. So to get Rosemary out of the way, the doctor sent her to the other side of Paris for some worthless medicine that her mother didn't even need. As he expected, Mrs. Gibbs died soon after she left. Her body was smuggled out of the hotel to a cemetery where it was then buried quickly. A team of workmen quickly repainted the room and replaced everything in it. That's why that taxi driver was riding all around, honey, going, just killing time and stalling. Whew. So the desk clerks were ordered to tell Rosemary that she was in the wrong hotel when she insisted on seeing her room. It became a different place. And of course, her mother had vanished, and all those involved were warned that they would lose their jobs if they gave away the secret. To avoid panic in the city, the police and newspapers agreed to say nothing of the death. No police reports were ever filed. No news stories appeared. And it was as if Rosemary's mother and her room had never even existed. Was Dr. Fauci anywhere around? Maybe he was the one who sent her to get the medicine, no less. Wow, that's crazy. So the driver was down, huh? Let me tell you something. Let's remember that the driver spoke French. The doctor who spoke English also spoke French. So whatever he told that cab driver, the girl couldn't understand. So he likely told him, say, look, we got somebody up in here with a plague that's going to cause an epidemic, and everybody's going to be out of a job. The whole city's going to be running and fleeing and panicking, and you not going to have a job yourself because ain't nobody going to be riding no taxi cab. So you know what I know. You'll take this child and just drive her around for a while and then take her to my house to get some fake medicine that she doesn't even need, and then act like you're lost. Just keep driving and driving until you figure that it's time has elapsed and we've hidden all the evidence. What? Treacherous no less. Wokeman said, works for me. Warrior Status said, you too much, Queen. Oh my goodness, that was juicy. Okay. What? I'm sitting here asking myself, because mind you, like I said, I never heard this story. I was just looking for a third story to tell you all, and I saw this and I said, this looks like it might be good. But honey, I was just as curious as you all were, like what happened? But it was all a sham. Now this clearly had to been pulled off by somebody just as nefarious as Dr. Fauci himself and Kill Bill Gates. Okay? Please. Not flip-flopping Fauci, okay? Ah, it's just me, says Queen, you're too much. That's just what he said. October says, sounds about Dwight. Judah Queen said, this is crazy. Yes, it is. So I'm glad you all enjoyed that story because I sure did. I was like, where is this all going, honey? Is Rod Serling somewhere around here? It clearly seemed like an episode of The Twilight Zone. You know what I was thinking before they got to the end? I was thinking the girl was crazy. You know, that maybe she died. Maybe she was a ghost. Maybe she just had it all wrong, honey. Woo! Wokeman said, reality is stranger than fiction. That's absolutely true. Oh, so I'm glad you all like that one. Fauci behind it and old enough to have been there. Right. Okay? Please. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in once again. Make sure you like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And listen, I'm going to be on here again tomorrow. Also, I'm going to be doing your spiritual vitamins tomorrow. Make sure you tune in for that. I'm going to start posting the videos probably around 11:30 or no, I'm sorry, probably around noon to 12:30, right? I'm going to start posting. And all the moderators, don't forget that we have a meeting in the morning at 11 o'clock, all right? So Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to send you all the invites for the Zoom call, all right? So that all being said, everyone enjoy the rest of this lovely evening and stay positive and uplifting, be constructive and productive and never destructive. And until next time, Royal Family, I'll talk to you all again soon. Thank you, Danny. Danny says, good story. Thank you, beloved. Aaron says, thank you, Queen. Well, thank you, beloved, for tuning in. So I'll talk to you all again soon. Peace.